I want you to just try to feel what I'm saying rather than trying to logically conclude things or jump to a conclusion or listen to me out of some desperation. Just try to feel what I'm saying rather than figure anything out. So you can just turn that side of your mind off and just listen. So let's say you have a dream tonight, and in a dream, as you do, you always dream. You dream of a house. It doesn't really matter if it's a nice house, ugly house. It doesn't really matter. But you're in a house, and you don't realize it's a dream yet. But you're walking around in the house, and then there's just something in the dream that kind of reminds you, makes you feel like you're in a dream, and then you realize you are dreaming. And then you wake up. And then you go on with your day. Maybe you make some coffee, or you just do whatever you have to do. But if you just think about it for a second, even though the house was an object that appeared independent, it wasn't, right? The tiles, the grout in the tile, the kitchen, wherever you were at in the house, the walls, the room, it was all you, even though technically, it technically is you, even though it feels like it isn't. It feels independent. It feels like you're walking on floor that is separate from you. But when you wake up, you realize it wasn't. It was all dependent upon you. And let's say there was a person in the house. Anybody. Doesn't really matter. Let's say you imagine you're at a train station and you see hundreds of people there and you're amongst the crowd. You don't realize you're dreaming. Then you wake up and you realize all those people were dependent upon you. The concrete, the train, the metal, all of it was dependent upon the dreamer, even though it doesn't feel that way. Now, I say this because if we can see that everything really in imagination is dependent upon a dreamer, everything in the dream is dependent upon the dreamer, then you don't have to be so worried inside your own mind. Because even though nightmares feel scary, and they do, and you become afraid, when you wake up, you realize it was a dream. You realize really that it was dependent on you. And when you wake up inside of a nightmare, the fear goes away. And so really it's the belief inside of ourselves that we don't have agency in our own imagination, that we lose causal power inside, that we feel afraid inside. In a recent live stream, I was speaking about how we have to view life as within ourselves rather than outside of ourselves. If we can see that life is within, that it's life, if we see it as a power of animation, that we are animating from the inside out, and I say the words, take control of your life. When I used to hear that, it never resonated with me because I didn't understand what steps to take. But if you view life from Neville's perspective, that life is within, and then you hear the same words, take control of your life, then really it's the same thing as saying take control of your imagination, and which you already do. So the only thing you really need to do on the inside of yourself is to wake up to what you're dreaming. That's about it. It doesn't really matter how scary the nightmare is inside of you. You must wake up from it and realize you're dreaming. And when you do, the fear starts to go away. You know, Neville said if you catch yourself having a fearful thought, to assume responsibility for creating it. And then you can ask yourself, what lovely thing would you like to imagine? Now, that sounded to me like flipping thoughts. But flipping thoughts to me is impulsive. It's really quick. But what you should do is take your time with it. Next time you have a fearful thought, something that you're dreaming, next time you dream a nightmare, just realize you can wake up, take your time, and then ask yourself if there is something lovely you would like to imagine. Or would you like to just move on? All this is doing is giving yourself agency in your own imagination, which we have just said is your life. So if you want agency in your life, you start to dictate what you imagine. If you see that life is within, then if your life is hectic, that means you're imagining hectic. That's what it means. And it seems untrue at first until you practice it and you realize how true it is. It's very intimate life. It's very intimate that it essentially became us, and we get to experience it. And when you have control of what you're dreaming and you realize you're responsible for the nightmares inside of you, they just lose their power over you. You no longer feel like you're some prisoner inside your own mind. You feel like you are an authority. And if you want to indulge in an idea, you can go ahead and indulge. If you want to be indifferent to it, you can be indifferent to it. And then you start shaping your life. And the best way to start shaping your life is to figure out who you want to be in your imagination. Who are you actually in here? If you're dreaming up nightmares, then you're just powerless. You're just a powerless individual, dreaming up ideas of powerlessness. And that's who you can be for the rest of your life. You can dream that way for eternity. You can dream for the rest of your life. You can dream like that. And you're free to. And if you want to dream of yourself, of having more agency within yourself, and you can have that dream too. And you can dream that way forever. It really comes down to you. And your dreams say something about you. They say something and they reveal things about the dreamer. Don't be afraid of what it reveals. Just be honest about it. And then adjust your dreaming to it reveal something else about you. It's like a continual acceptance of dreams. That's kind of how Neville's work is. When you practice it, it's a continual acceptance of dreams. You dream something wonderful and you accept it. And then you dream something else and you accept it. And these are the true seeds of life, where you're no longer casting seeds of doubt within your mind. You're casting seeds of faith, right? You dream something lovely, you accept it, and you have faith it will grow. And you have more faith in something else. And you have faith in something else. You just keep doing this. And you can do this for the rest of your life. Now, I really take a hands-off approach in my mind. I really do imagine something and let it be. And I imagine something else and let it be. And I feel, when I do that, and I actually let go of control, I feel at peace. And you just keep planting and planting and planting. Because you're going to regardless. We reap what we sow. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. It's just what gets complicated is we focus too much on things. We focus too much on people rather than changing ourselves. If we focus on people and things and we try to change those things all the time, we are met with deep frustration. But when you see that, let's say you're having doubtful dreams, if you can just always relate every dream to self, that means you're just doubting yourself. You're having self-doubt. That's really all it is. When you dream yourself to be wonderful, you're having self-belief. You know, it always comes back to self. That's all you really have to change. And if that's all you have to change, then you can start accepting a different self, a freer self, a less guilt-ridden self, a less shameful self, a more empowered self. And the dreams will come to confirm your new idea of yourself. So really, ultimately, we are planting ourselves in our lives. We are planting seeds of self. There's a theme. It's almost a rhythm in Neville's work. It's of self, life, imagination, dreams, but they're really all correlated. They're all connected with the same. They're all sewn together. They're all really one fabric, even though it might look. It's like a rug, right? There's many colors and things, but it's really just one rug. Same is true for imagination. It's the same thing. But it all, in my view, connects to a self. And so you figure out what you're dreaming and how does this connect to you and what does it say about you. Don't be ashamed of it. Just face what it says about you. Pay attention to what you think you don't have in imagination, and that's what you don't have in your life. Because life is within. Keep it within. Don't externalize it yet. Just keep it within. So when I say the word life, you think of something within yourself rather than on the outside. You don't think about society or the buildings, how tall they are. You don't think about concrete. You don't think about anything on the outside. You think about within. So when I say you have control over your life, I mean that you have control over your imagination. That's what I mean. Because you do. Yeah, I feel like I've said what I had to say. I think I'm just kind of laying down a framework again of Neville's. Where I'm just saying the same thing differently to like awaken within you an understanding. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. Maybe I'll make another one in the future. But yeah, I enjoyed making this one. Yeah, I have my books out. I do live streaming as well, where I do Q&A. I go a little deeper on these topics, and yeah, I do one-on-ones. Just go to the description; it's all there if you want to contact me. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of, I guess, just show you again how I see Neville's work. It's just a few things. It's just tweaking a few things. Really, it's just a couple things threaded together. But it really comes back to the dreamer and what the dreamer wants to dream. Once you get control of what you want to dream, you start to gain control over your life. Ironically. But yeah, okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.